Hi everyone, I am Donna Reed, and this is Donna Reed Talks Voice. And today I'm working with MaKayla. Hi, MaKayla. I've never worked with MaKayla before, so this is the first time we're meeting. And introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your singing background.
My name is Michaela. I am currently a senior at Oklahoma City University. I'm about to graduate with my Bachelor of Music in Musical Theater, and I'm staying for another year to get my master's in nonprofit leadership and arts administration. So I'm assessing my options in both fields, but I am just, you know, COVID changed things for a lot of people, and I feel like my voice has changed a lot pretty rapidly in that time. And I also changed a lot mentally, and I changed my approaches to things a lot. So I'm kind of just going on a little journey right now. I used to do a lot of golden age material, and lately they've been pushing me more in a contemporary pop rock direction.
Okay,
So yeah, I've just been having fun, honestly, the past couple of years, just trying to look at this new side of my voice and this new side to myself, and how I approach my voice and how I approach that with who I am as an artist. So just making a lot of changes lately.
that's great. I mean, any true artist does that kind of searching. That's what we do. That's brilliant. Now, if I understand it correctly, you have a little bit of a sinus infection.
I do. I am in the late stages of getting over it. So I feel like I'm about 90% back.
Okay.
I'm just kind of in this stage where I'm trying to still um, be a little cautious with it, but I don't necessarily feel very sick anymore.
Okay. All right. Just so that I know, we'll see how we work around it. If it doesn't affect anything at all, um, as normally happens though with especially with a sinus infection, when anything that has to do with the face up there, you'll feel things differently than you're probably used to feeling them, which is fine. My famous statement that I came up with that I love is, everybody's all about placement, and I always say if placement worked, it would work, and it doesn't, because you place something somewhere and you sing something, you're like, wow, that's fabulous. You try to place it there again, and kind of doesn't go there, and it doesn't
Yeah.
work, and it's like, but I placed it in the same place, I swear, why didn't it
Mhm.
work? Well, because it doesn't, because sensations are elusive. The an u vowel will change how it feels, an ah vowel will change how it feels, a sinus infection will change how it feels. So the whole placement thing is, you get a kind of a sense of where it's going, but it's putting it in and trying to force it into where you think it should be. I mean, do you hear the statement coming out of my mouth? That's just a recipe for rigidity.
Right.
So just kind of keep that in mind. Just let it be, quote unquote, all over the place.
Right.
So what I'm going to
Absolutely.
have you do is I'm going to have you exhale. Inhale as you bring your arms up. Exhale, because I want you to get the rib cage expanding, and then let the air out. Notice how you feel the air going in. Breathe
Mhm.
in again, and then breathe out. Just notice where the air feels. Do it again, maybe two more times. Just notice what happens with your lungs, with the rib cage. What do you notice? What does the abdominal area do? What does all of this do? It's a very expansive thing. And then, of course, the rib cage contracts because there's nothing resisting the breath with phonation.
Yes.
Good. Do you notice that? Do you notice how you
Yes,
really feel
absolutely.
like you're
Especially
getting
that
air?
last time.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I have people do it three, four times. Um, Now, the important thing about breathing is that you just want to make sure that the body is not rigid when you breathe. Everybody talks about support, and what support means in most cases is that you tighten your body as hard as you can, which only either stops the airflow or pushes the air through the vocal cords, and it's breathy. So what you want is a flexible rib cage. So if you're taking that big breath, as I had you just take it, and the rib cage expands, then you're actually phonating. Well, the rib cage isn't going to do this because you're phonating and the air is being resisted by the vocal cords. So it'll have this nice, easy kind of excursion. You might not even feel anything, or you might feel something, but it's not going to be like when you're doing it this way with the cords apart, because there's no phonated sound. So when the vocal cords are, when the rib cage is expanded and the lungs are filled, and then the vocal cords open up, that air wants to escape. You don't have to push it out. It just wants to do it. So the idea of pushing the air out. Now, you do feel energy in your body. Your body does, quote unquote, support the sound, but it's not a push. Again, there's nothing rigid about it, but there's something very energetic about it. Anyway,
Mhm.
that big long lecture, let's just see where you're at.
Sure.
So on an oo vowel, let's see where it goes.
Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
Yeah, easy enough, right?
Mhm.
I don't hear anything tightening up. I don't hear any constriction in that. Easy head voice, and there you are. Okay, let's do, let's take that oo to an ah. So you'll go ooh, ah, and then come down on the ah. See where the ah wants to go. It may go into a chest voice, it may not go into a chest voice. Whatever's easy, don't force anything. I don't even care if it's a smooth scale.
Ooh.
Exactly, wherever it wants to go.
Ooh.
Now you hear already in that one, and we are going down, there's slightly more chest voice, right?
Yes. And it's
Which is
not
fine.
going exactly as smoothly in as it feels a little laddery to me today.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting. Now see, I'm not hearing that.
oh well good. Okay, well I'll just try and relax into it more. Maybe I'll stop feeling it. So
Exactly. You know what? It's just I'm not hearing a big break from one note to another. No,
Mhm.
it's not, let's say, legatissimo. It's not like it's really legato, legato. It's a little bit more maybe marcato, da, da, da. I don't care. It doesn't always have to
Okay.
be, legato, legato, legato. But I don't hear that it's not a smooth scale.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so you just let it
All
do
right.
whatever. What I did hear is that this ooh was slightly chestier than that ooh, and not in a bad way, just that more chest voice decided it wanted to add itself to your voice.
Right.
That's
Mhm.
fine. We just observe and we see where it's going. The only thing that is, and I put it in air quotes, is that's quote unquote wrong, is if it's constricted. If it's constricted, we don't want constriction.
Mhm.
Any other sound that you make is valid as long as it's not getting tight in the throat. Now, is it the sound that you want for a particular piece of music? Who knows? We have to decide that with a piece of music. But just let it do whatever, just as you're doing. It's so far so good, so good. It's really doing very well. So again, ooh ah, whatever
Okay.
it wants to do.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh. 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 Ooh.
now again on that top note, did you hear even a little bit more chest voice come in?
Yes.
Yeah, again, I'm just pointing that out to my listeners and just we're observing. It's like, oh, all right, more chest voice. Beautiful. And it's not shutting down. So fine. I'm going to keep going lower, see where it wants to go.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, skip the ooh, just do it right on the ah.
Ah.
Good. And that's an E below the middle C.
hmm
Yeah, excellent. Easy peasy.
Yep, that's about where I cap out for for those.
You know
As we're
what?
going lower. Or maybe I could go a little lower, but that's about where I cap out.
Right. All right. Which, I mean, why would you want to go much lower than that, right?
Yes.
I'm going to try one more. I'll tell you what to do. Um, do it on the ah,
Okay.
and really, I can do one of two ways. Oh, let me try it this way. Really, just this is the only time I use the word relax. relax into that bottom note. Because when you're that low, you literally do nothing, nothing, nothing. If you have too much air or too much pressure on the chords, they simply won't vibrate. They won't make the sound. They'll go or do something. Now, obviously, when one sings low enough and you just bottom out and it's too low for your voice, that'll happen. But I think you have, as you said, I think you do have a couple more lower notes down there. Not that you're ever going to use them, but I'm just testing the limits here. You just really relax into them. Ah,
Ah.
yeah, that's the E flat.
Mhm.
That actually was a little bit better than the E natural.
I think so too, but I think I relaxed into it more. So
Yeah, exactly. So again, if you ever have to sing those, if you ever in your life sing Elphaba and you want to sing I'm Not That Girl, the E natural is the girl. Um,
yes.
so although I think every Elphaba I've had on Broadway takes it up, and they have the note, but it's like, why do it? I,
Right.
I personally don't like it. Sorry, Stephen. I think you're brilliant, but it's a little too much. But that's another story. All right, now I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to do this. Do this with a G and an ah, ga ga ga,
Okay.
fast. Don't even worry what it's doing. Ga 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 ga. Chest
Okay.
voice, head voice doesn't matter. Fast up and down. Let it fly.
Ga 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 ga. Ga 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 ga.
And as we go higher, especially, let it go somewhere else. Let it go somewhere weird. Let it not sound pleasing to your ear. Just let it fly.
Ga 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 ga. 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 Ga 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 ga.
Yep.
Ga 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 ga.
Yep.
Ga 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 ga.
Let it be weird.
Ga 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 ga.
Yeah, let it do something weird.
You mind if I move a little bit more?
Move a lot.
Okay, great. Ga ga ga. Oh, hold on. I'm getting it stuck up in the top of my mouth because I'm nervous about it.
Okay. All right. Now, when you say getting it stuck on the top of your mouth, is it feeling constricted?
It's starting to because I'm tensing up because I'm like, oh no, what's gonna happen? So
Okay.
in the moment, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna let it go, and then I get up there and I'm like, ah. So
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. And we lost the momentum, but so do you sing? Have you sung before the notes above a C, above a high C? Yeah.
Yes, I can do a D sharp, and I
Okay.
that's about what I can do.
Okay.
Mm.
I think you could probably go higher than that, but maybe I have to set it up another way. Now,
Right.
you may never sing those notes. You may never have to sing those in the repertoire that you sing. But if you have them, every once in a while you should do them. I'm going to try it another way. No, I'm going to do this first. We're going to do the middle. You're going to do a ka-a-a, and
Okay.
it's going to be bright, bright, bright. And you know what? I'm going to have you do the moving thing.
Okay.
So I want you to move, really make sure the rib cage moves. Make sure that the bottom rib cage and the abdominal area is not tight, but your feet are grounded, your knees are unlocked, and your body's energetic. And you can move around, really move the rib cage, fast, fast, obnoxious, bright.
Okay. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Great. Now, did the top one feel more chesty? I mean, heady, excuse me, and the bottom one more chesty?
Yes, it felt like a slightly headier mix. So it wasn't entirely head, but it did feel like it had more of that mix in there.
Okay, and the right from the bat, the top one to me sounded rather on the belty side. Now, did you sense that, or did you think, it's not quite belty?
It felt, as I said, a little more with the head mix, but it was still a mix, you know. It didn't feel like I had entirely lost it or anything by any means.
Right. Okay. So again, what I always say to my students is when it's mixy that way, it's usually beltier than they think it is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So again, the best thing to do when you're working on your own is to record something. When it mixes that way, listen back and listen, is that really, does it sound belty enough? And it might. If not, then, what I do with my students is I'll work it so that they can get a tad more chest voice in there in a healthy way. But many times we want it to feel very, very chesty and on the inside, we may feel it's chesty and hear it's chesty, but on the outside, it just sounds a little like that.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite, we may hear, oh, well, it feels like it's a mix, it's flipping, it sounds a little bit more on the heady side, but out here, it just sounds like, wow, what a free belt.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so anyway, I'm going to give you this one. I want you to do it straight up, right?
Okay.
Straight up, what you consider a belty sound.
Ca.
Now, how did that top note feel?
Um, it felt good. I think maybe I could have if I think I could have supported it a little better. But it didn't
Okay,
feel
now let me stop
bad.
you. What do you mean? What does that mean? You could have supported it a little bit better. What does that specifically mean?
So I think the way I set up my breath, I think I didn't ground myself in that breath enough to make that top note sound the way I would want it to. I
Okay,
guess I
so
just felt like I wasn't grounded enough for it.
okay, so why didn't the top note sound the way I'm very specific about these words because people throw out these things because what you're saying to me is pretty ambiguous. I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Okay.
What is it in the sound you did not like that then you gave the fault to the breath? What didn't you like about the sound?
I felt like I released it all at the top, um, instead of gradually letting that breath take the scale all the way up. If that makes any sense, I felt like I didn't put a lot of energy throughout the bottom and I just threw it all out at the very top.
Okay, now you're still not answering the question, and
Oh,
I'm
I'm
very
sorry.
no, but
Okay.
that's okay. But that's why I'm really fussing
Mhm.
about this because this is how everybody gets off when they sing. You're so concerned about what was going on with the breath. You haven't answered the question. What didn't you like about the sound? Tell me the physicality of the sound. It was too sharp. It was too flat. It was too small. It was too big. It was too bright. It was too mellow. What is the physicality of the sound, the qualitative properties of sound you did not like?
I didn't like it. It seemed sharp and mm, it seemed sharp. This is very good for me. Okay, so it was sharp and it did not sound or feel like it had a lot of a basis of the actual sound. It just felt like
Okay.
just went away.
Okay, so you felt that there was no core to the sound. So what I'm hearing is that you thought the sound was maybe too soft, too small.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a good way of describing it.
Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Now,
Mhm.
this is, and I'm so glad we're doing this and my listeners can hear this. That is absolutely not what happened. I
Okay.
mean, 1000% that is not what happened. Now, because you perceived that to be, you would fix something that's not broken.
Mhm.
You would try to add more support to that top note. You would scream it. It would probably get tight. If it didn't get tight, you couldn't do it more than 2 or 3 times.
Mhm.
That note was perfect. And when I say perfect, I mean perfect.
Oh,
So
well,
it
yes. Yeah.
felt,
Mhm.
now, It felt a couple of things. You described the breath. You said it felt like you gave all of your air on top. Well, yeah, that's the top note. That's where you give your air.
Mm-hmm.
And then the kinetic energy will take you back down. It's like when you go up a hill, you put your foot on the gas pedal,
Mm-hmm.
and you put your foot on the gas pedal till you get over the crest of the hill, then you take your foot off the gas pedal. But you better keep your foot on the gas pedal all the way up the hill.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yes, I felt like I wasn't doing that.
And you were.
And wow. Okay, yes, I'm really excited to go back and listen to it.
Straight up what you consider a belty sound.
Ca.
Now,
That actually helps. Maybe I don't need to put as much effort into things sometimes.
correct.
I think that I do.
Correct. And everybody does it. And I don't care what genre, everybody does. I'm guilty of it myself. My mantra when I sing is hold back, hold back. They can hear you. Hold back. They can hear you. Hold back.
Right.
Because we all push too hard. When the sound is well resonated, that one was very well resonated. It sounds on the inside of our heads like we're pulling back. It sounds like, not energetically, you didn't do that, but on the inside, it doesn't sound as big as the other guys. It was totally as big as the other guys. Now, did it go slightly somewhere else? Yeah, it sure did. And yes, it needs to.
Mm-hmm.
You see?
Yes, I do.
That was brilliant. That sound was great. Now, I'm going to have you go higher with this.
Okay.
Let it go where you don't think it should go.
Mhm.
Let it sound. Oh, yes, I wanted to address one other thing. You said it sounded sharp. It totally wasn't sharp in pitch. It was
Okay.
right on the money. But I'll tell you what was really good about it. It had the upper harmonics energized. We always want the upper harmonics, especially in a belt, energized because that's what makes it bright. That's what makes it carry.
Mhm.
And it's this strange phenomenon. I'm going to say it again. When we sing and it's well resonated, we don't hear it as loud as it actually is. We just don't. It's a weird acoustic thing that happens inside of our head. So as soon as we hear inside of our head that it's really loud, it's probably not too terribly loud out there. Quick story. I was doing an opera at La Scala. I was singing with this tenor, and this tenor's his voice was louder than God. I mean, it hurt my ear to stand next to him. It was loud, 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 loud. I was in the audience. I wasn't on stage with him. I couldn't hear his voice. I was in the 10th row. There wasn't even an orchestra. It was a rehearsal. I couldn't hear him. And I thought, how could I not hear him? He hurt my ear next to me. It was all noise. It didn't carry, it didn't project. So it was loud. I'm sure it was loud to him. It was loud to me next to it. But, and another quick story, my late husband had this amazing singer. I'll say her name, Ellen Shade, Wagnerian singer, sang Wagner all over the world. Amazing. I would sit in on her lessons and I would be surprised at how small her voice sounded in this room, in his studio, in our apartment. But she sang Wagner with a Wagnerian orchestra in all of the opera houses in the world. Everybody heard her.
Mm-hmm.
So, what you hear up close isn't always what's actually going on.
Right.
Anyway, two quick stories. Let's try the next guy. You just go for it, move around,
Okay.
big, just be surprised.
Ca.
Good, and no matter what it does, you just keep going.
Ca.
Now that one was a little compromised. I'll tell you what happened. You notice when you're moving, you actually stopped moving this way and you kind of just started moving this way.
Yep, I absolutely noticed that.
And what that means is then this area right here can get stiff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the area we want not to get stiff. But because you're going higher, you can't help it. Your body's like, oh, I gotta support. And that's why that little scratch came out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna have you do it another way.
Mm-hmm.
It was this key. I'm gonna have you exhale, inhale as you bring your arms up, keep your arms up, and then sing. As soon as the air is in, you sing. Big, go for it.
Ca. There
you go. Mm-hmm. How much easier was that?
That was a lot easier. It
was
like shocking how much easier it was.
So two things. By making you do this, I made the rib cage expand. I made the air actually go into where the lungs are, which are way up here.
Mhm.
And two, it's kind of hard to push with the abdominals when your hands are up there.
Right.
So you had plenty of air for the exercise and you didn't have to push. Now, one of the things about that whole low breathing, stupid stuff about the get the belly breath and you actually don't get enough air in your lungs. When you don't get enough air in your lungs for a high E, which that was for belting,
Mhm.
right? If you don't get enough air in your lungs, you're going to have to push whatever little air is in there out. And then that's when bad things start to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You see, now, I'm
Yes.
going, yeah, I'm going to try this and see what happens.
Okay.
Do a staccato on an ooh, and I'm starting you on the high side. So we're going into soprano land here. Do it on an ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
And can you go faster?
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yes. Now, do you notice how I'm guessing that
Mhm.
top note sounds great? It's kind of getting away from you.
Yes.
Let it get away from you.
Okay. Okay.
Let that happen. Do not control it.
Mhm.
Let it sound squeaky. Let it sound horrible.
All
Now, I'm
right.
going to have you do the same one again. And I want you to do it twice. Ooh,
Mhm.
ooh, 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 ha, 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 ha.
Okay. Ooh, 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 ah, 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 ah.
Good. Now we're going to do it on the just the ah.
Okay.
And let that top note fly away. I don't care if it's in tune. I really don't care if it's in tune. This is all about letting go of control.
Mhm.
And let those ah guys go somewhere weird, weird, weird. Just one time through.
Okay. Ah, 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 ah.
Like that.
Ah, 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 ah.
Yeah, let it fly away.
Ah, 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 ah.
And you could move around.
Ah, 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 ah.
Exactly. That's it. Let it go somewhere weird. Now, I'm going to give you a hint.
Mhm.
Up here, those top notes may kind of feel like you're belting.
Mm.
Let it feel that way.
I just turned that on silent and I don't know why that is still going off. I'm so sorry. Okay.
Not a problem. So let me just say that again. So when you do this one again next time,
Mhm.
let it feel like you're belting. Let those top notes feel like you're doing exactly those ka-ahs that we just did. It's on an ah. It's going to get very spready. Let it do that. And can you be more aggressive with it?
Yes.
And move around.
Yep.
Like that. Like that.
Okay.
Like that. Move, move, move. Move the whole torso. The whole torso. Yeah, twist. Twist, twist, twist. Yeah, twist, twist, twist. Breathe. You're trying to control it. You're trying to control it. You got to go fast. Let it be out of tune. Now, don't just move your arms. Twist, twist, twist. Move your whole body. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All right, we got it. We didn't quite get there, but we did. That was the high E. That was the high E. We did get to the E flat.
Yes.
So again, that the reason I asked you to think about belting up there is because my best belters all have those notes above a C, and they almost all of them say it when you get that high, it kind of feels like you're belting. It's kind of that same idea, but obviously it sounds way different.
Well, that's actually incredible because I'm going to work on that some more because that I am so actually scared of doing higher staccato stuff and I absolutely most of the time I have to fight so hard from just absolutely shutting down and just not letting myself do it at all. And so I actually got higher with those this time than I think I ever have.
There you
So
go.
yes, so that
That's the
actually really
approach.
opens a lot of doors, and I'm going to work on that a lot more. So,
Excellent, because I'll tell you, it's totally related. This mixy belt,
mhm.
especially the higher, the E flat, E, F, D, all of those guys right in there, is totally related to the notes above a C. So it's how the chest voice is working. It's how the chords are coming together. Because when
Right.
you get really, really high that way, the chords really they close like that. They dampen. There's just this little elliptical hole where they come out. So it's the arytenoid system bringing those vocal cords together, which they need to do. They need to bring the vocal cords together, not quite the same way, but similar. When you get that belty mix going. And I
Mhm.
always find that one is related to the other. So the better the notes above a C get, the better the mix is. The better the mix is, the better the notes above a C get.
Wow.
So play around with that. And key
Mhm.
for you is to really move your body, so that something, especially if there's a trepidation, if there's a little bit of like, we're going higher, you want to do something so that your body doesn't do that. Because the minute that your body gets tight and squeezes, then it'll just shut the air off.
Right.
It won't do it for you. And with the staccato, what you will sense is that the abdominal area does a little bounce, bounce, bounce. So with a staccato, this just kind of goes, it just does
Mhm.
that. And as you go higher, it doesn't necessarily bounce more. You don't need to make it work more. You do need to take in a little bit more air because you're higher,
Mhm.
but you don't even have to worry about that. The best for you would be to just move around and let it happen.
Mhm.
That's really good. I know we didn't get to the music yet, but I think we didn't have time to get to the music. But I think this was good the way we worked all of this stuff out and played with those high notes.
Oh, absolutely. When you said we're gonna go up higher and do some staccato, I was like, this is my worst fear. Oh no. But that actually that just gave me so much to work on. And it, like as I said, I really feel like it opened a door for me just having that different mental like the way I'm thinking about it. Like I wasn't as scared. And that was just like I really do not have words to say how much that just helped me just now. So
Yay. And
yes.
I really appreciate, and I'm going to say you have a lot of courage to allow that to happen. My late husband used to always say, it takes a lot of courage to allow yourself to be bad before you can be good.
Right. Especially I was in that brain state of, oh, I'm gonna go in here, I'm gonna work on belting, And so that was just really great. Thank you so much. That
Wonderful.
helped
Thank
me
you.
so much.
Thank you so much. And again, for being so flexible and just saying, you know what, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Excellent.
All right. Thank you so much. It was so
Thank
nice to
you.
meet you.
Thanks for watching Donna Reed Talks Voice. If you have any questions for me about this episode, or if you'd like to join me on a future episode, please visit donnareedtv.com and click Contact.